What's up? It's Thursday. Hope you kids are doing well. Um, I'm doing pretty well. It's raining, um, and I'm just grinding, just working. You know me. I love to grind a little bit. We got some math today. You can see our keyword down here at the bottom. Make sure you shoot me that email. Right. I think it says check in. That's my phone. But as you can see, I have like the flashlight coming on my face using my phone. So check in, period, whatever. Shoot me the keyword for today's rain. All right, you're going to have another email too. You're going to have a check-in email. You're going to have two emails you send me today. One's going to be check-in with the keyword. That's going to be separate from your actual assignment for the week, which you can send me by Friday at midnight. Now we've got some math we're doing today. I mean, there's no doubt we're doing some math today. Now, here's my little pen. In the past, you had some numbers, right? You had some numbers. Let's go. You had the cost to make your one item for the one item, right? Ugh, that's gross. Okay, you had your cost for the one item. Let's see if I can make this a little better. So for one item, there we go. Let's say this, I'm just coming up with my own numbers here, and you're gonna have to take some notes. I'm gonna say, hey, this item cost me $4 to make. Okay, we also said we had like a startup cost. My startup cost, let's just make it simple. Let's just say 5,000. Because I like clean numbers. It makes my life a little easier when I'm trying to teach. And then we had what we're selling it for. Selling my one item. I'm going to sell it. If I make it for 4, let's say I'm selling it for 10. Okay? I'm just going to keep it clean and easy. Okay, now we've got some serious notes here. And when I'm talking, I'm not nothing too crazy, but I got to teach you guys some terms. Now, we have cost to make 100 items, right? Let's just say we're always going to stick with 100, and your homework's going to be 100. We're just going to stay with 100 here. We have revenue, and I'll explain that, from selling 100 items. Profit, if we made any. And then we have this break even. Okay, this break even point. Now, let's go ahead and I'm going to shift here, shift colors to maybe like a darker green. Do they have a darker? This kind of blue is cool. Now, let's go, and we're all dealing with 100 items here. And I can switch up these numbers and we can do a practice and we can, I mean, today's lesson is going to take a little bit of time, but that's okay. Now, the cost to make 100 items. Now, the cost to make 100 items is our startup cost, because guess what? We had to put that in. So we had to spend that 5,000 plus how much does it cost to make one item? It costs $4 to make one item. So it's 4 times 100. $4 for one item, and we're making 100 of them. Okay, so the cost to make 100 items is 5,000 plus what's 4 times 100? 400. So it's 5,000 plus 400. So the cost in essence for us to make 100 items, right, is $5,400. Now that has the startup cost in it. It's just embedded into our formula. Okay, now let's switch it up. Let's say we were going, let's figure out the revenue. Okay, what revenue is revenue is if we're selling, right? We're selling. Like this is what it's costing us. This is like we're making money, kind of. We're selling, and we really want to break even. And I'll explain break even means like we haven't made any money or we haven't lost any money. Now, the revenue from selling 100 items. Let's look at our revenue. Revenue is, hey, we're going to sell 100 items, and what are we selling them for? We're selling them from 10 bucks each. We're selling them from 10 bucks each. So 100 times 10 is 1,000 bucks. So we would bring in 1,000 bucks, right, if we sold 100 of our items. Now profit, the interesting thing about profit, let me change over here to green or something, is profit is like, do we make any money? profit is always going to be our revenue minus our cost. Revenue minus cost. Okay, and you can keep this in your notes. It's really important because you're going to use it for all your numbers that you came up with. Your revenue minus your cost. Okay, now what was our revenue? $1,000 minus what was our cost? 5,400. Okay, revenue minus cost, 5,400. Well, guess what? We're at negative $4,400 right now. That's our revenue after making and selling 100 items. So we're negative, right? Which obviously means we need to make more items and sell more items. Okay? Right? The more items we make and sell, the more money we're going to make and maybe the less negative we're going to have. Okay, now this break even, I can even go purple. Our break even is when our profit is 0. Our break even is when our profit is 0. So we're going to plug in a 0 for profit, and then we're going to say revenue minus cost. Well, we got to figure out how many items, okay? So what we're going to do is how many items. Remember, this was like our how many items right here. This was our how many items, okay? Actually, let me erase that. That wasn't how many items. That was what we're selling our items for. Scratch that. This is how many items, right? We said 100. Well, watch what we're going to do here. We're going to say revenue. And let me just see, because I don't want to confuse you kids, and I may not even include break even in your homework right now. It may be just in the future. Maybe we can do a little break even next week. So let's scratch the break even just for now, because I want to keep it simple. I don't want to throw too much on your plate. And we'll have the break even. We'll have the break even for next week. That'll be like our little Tuesday lesson. Okay, and this will be a next week thing. So we'll get into this and we'll just stay here. Okay, now let's do a little bit of practice and then I'll explain what your homework's going to be. Okay, so let's change these numbers here. Let's change them. What's our one item? Well, what does it cost us? Remember, this is cost. What is it going to cost us to make one item? Let's change that to $6. Our startup cost, let's change that to like 10,000. And we're selling each item, let's say for $15. Okay, we're selling each item for 15. Now, what did I say we're looking at today? We're looking at our cost to make 100 items. We're looking at our revenue. That's the money we're bringing in. That's not as much, exactly, it's not how much we make, it's how much we bring in. Okay, and here's our profit. This is what we really care about. Like, this is what we get to keep. Okay, this is what we get to keep, not how much we bring in, what we get to keep. All right, now let's go ahead and look at this. Our cost. Remember, for cost is always going to be your startup, right? Plus whatever you're selling your items. So we're selling our items at $6 an item, and how many you're going to make. We're always keeping this at 100, right? Because it's easy. We're going to make 100 items. We're going to sell 100 items. Okay, 100. We just picked 100 items because it's an easy number. So what was our startup cost? 10,000. 10,000 plus, this is going to be 600, is 10,600. That's what it's going to cost us to make 100 items, right? In the beginning, right? In the beginning of your business, it's going to cost you 10,600. You're not going to have that startup cost every time you make items, but in the beginning, you're going to have it. Okay, now, revenue from selling 100 items. Well, our revenue from selling 100 items is, hey, we're charging how much? We're charging $15 per item, and we're selling 100 of them. Okay? We're selling 100. So that's 1,500 we're going to bring in. 1,500 we're bringing in. We just sold 100 items at $15 a pop. We're bringing in $1,500. Do we get to keep it? Let's find out. Okay, our profit is always our revenue minus our cost. Our revenue minus our cost. Well, what was our revenue? 1,500 minus our cost. Well, how much did it cost us? 10,600. Gross. Okay. So 1,500 minus 10,600. Ugh, we're at negative $9,100. Negative. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, but that's okay because I'm going to change this up really quickly. And you can pause it if you want to catch up on the notes. And what I'm going to do is we're going to keep this same. Let me make this guy smaller. This guy's giant. Whatever. Okay. We're going to keep everything the same, except we're not going to sell 100 and we're not going to make 100. Let's ramp up production here. Let's say, hey, we're going to go ham. We're going to sell and make 1,000 items. We're going to sell and make 1,000 items. Okay, so what I want you to do right now, just for practice, so we can make sure you're ready to do your homework and send it to me, okay, is I'm going to have you press pause right now in a second. I want you to figure out the cost to make 1,000 items, the revenue you're going to bring in, right, from selling 1,000 items, and then profit. Do we get to keep anything, right? Do we get to keep anything? Are we getting closer to not being negative, right? Remember, if we only did 100, if we only made and sold 100, we're down negative $9,100. Okay, so figure out our math here. Press pause, do it, right? And then we'll come back and we'll solve it together. Okay, we're back. Let's get it. Okay, my cost, remember, is going to be how much it cost me to start up my business. 10,000 to kind of get it rolling. Plus, each item is $6 times how many are we making? We're making 1,000 of them, right? Now, we've got 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. 10,000 plus 6,000 is 16,000, right? Okay, so for us, this is how much it costs us to make 1,000 items. It's going to be $16,000. Well, revenue, right? Revenue. How much are we going to bring in? How much money are we going to bring in from selling 1,000 items? Well, we're selling them for 15 bucks a pop, and we're selling 1,000 of them. Well, guess what? That's $15,000. Boom. Now we're starting to bring in some dough, right? Okay. Now remember, our profit is our revenue minus our cost. Well, our revenue was 15,000 minus our cost was 16,000, and we're only at negative $1,000. Okay, we're getting much closer. Hey, if we only made 100 items, we're down $9,100. We make 1,000 and we sell 1,000. Hey, we're only down $1,000, right? We're getting closer to that break-even point. The break-even point would mean you make 0. Okay, so what I want for your homework, which is really simple, and you're going to send it to me in a separate email. If you want to go back and pause, that's fine. You're going to send it to me in a separate email. Then your check-in. Remember, you've got your check-in. What you're going to include is you're going to include this information for me, which is really important. You're going to say, and this is just a straight up email. You can just write it in a School Loop email and send it to me. Say, hey, this is the information from my company. Remember, it's got to be your own info. Don't give me mine. Give me yours. The cost for you to make an item, the cost for you to start up your business, and the cost for you, what are you going to sell each item for? Okay, that's information you're going to give me. Next, you're going to give me, you're going to give me the cost to make 100 items, right? You're going to give me the revenue from selling 100 items, right? This is what I want also here. This is what I want here. And then lastly, you're going to give me, hey, did you make a profit, right, from your 100 items? And most likely, it's going to be negative, right? Because the more items you make, I'm giving you a small number here, which is 100. If this was a bigger number, you'd probably have a positive profit. Okay, and you're just going to send that to me in email. And that's your work for this week. Okay, easy money, super flexible. Next week, break even. okay? And then I'll add a little something to it after that. So have a blessed week, kiddo. Stay safe. Please, if you need anything, or you're concerned, or you're overwhelmed, or whatever, your teachers are giving you a hard time, shoot me an email. Let me know. I'll do everything I can to help. All right? Love you, kids. Bye.